I remember back when I was a chef and ingredients were limited, budget was very, very limited. But I still really wanted to maximize on flavor, but I didn't want to spend, lots of time cooking, and I definitely didn't want to spend lots of time washing. So this is kind of essentially a one pot wonder. It only takes a few minutes to get ready, and you don't need any specific skills, I suppose. So it's really easy, it's really quick, but it's healthy as well. So I'm going to bring the camera over here, I'm going to jump into it, and I'll run you guys through how to make this beautiful Thai chicken salad. Hello. So let's run through what I've got first of all, and then I'll show you how to prepare this. So this is something that's super easy. It's lean, it's clean, it's healthy, but it's also tasty as well. It's one of the things that I really used to love making when I was a chef, because it's a one pot wonder and it only takes a few minutes, and it's packed full of flavor. So first up, I've got some fresh coriander, some mint, red onion, crushed chili flakes, a little bit different to chili powder, and some roasted rice. This is super important, okay? It adds a whole different dimension of flavor and texture to the dish. Then of course some lime, some fish sauce, chicken mince, and some lettuce as your base. And that's pretty much it. Just want to pop your stove on to medium, and no oil. And this is a kind of, I suppose, interesting concept, is you don't want the chicken mince to fry. So it goes in cold, and we're actually going to pop a little bit of water in there to prevent it from caramelizing, because we kind of don't want that sweetness which you get when you caramelize the meat. So while that's working, while that's cooking, I'm going to start on preparing the rest of our stuff. So I'm just going to wash our herbs and our lettuce. Alrighty, cool. So our chicken has started to cook, which is good. Got all my herbs picked. I've got my lettuce washed, just put in a bowl that we're going to pop it in. A couple of things that I think are really important to run through is when you pick your herbs, you end up with all these stems, right? Don't chuck them out, because they're really good for a couple of things. First of all, you can make sauces out of them, pesto, that kind of stuff, shamula. They're also really good as curry bases. And if nothing else, you can use them if you roast vegetables, you just put them in amongst the vegetables with a little bit of oil and salt, and it adds a whole heap of flavor to them. So with this, I'm just going to slice this relatively roughly. Now look, if you're not super confident in cutting onions or veg, check out the link below, because I'm going to put a video in how to actually really hone your knife skills down, so that you're not, even if you're not a pro or not confident with your knife, but you can cut veg quickly, easily, and safely. I feel like me watching someone else cut an onion is probably one of the most nerve-wracking things, because I just fear for their safety of their fingers. So just really, really rough slice. And that's going to go in with our herbs. Okay, I'm not a massive fan of red onion. If you want more, pop it in. And then we're going to add our chili and our rice actually to our chicken. We want to season our meat, or season the chicken, as opposed to seasoning the salad, because that's kind of got more liquid in it. It's where all the juice is, and it's really where the body of the meal is. So our chicken's all done. I'm just going to pop this, so you guys can see this. Just going to pop everything together just so we can start to season it a little bit better. Alright, so I feel like I feel like one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they season stuff, especially Asian food, is they overdo or underdo the fish sauce. So I think seasoning the fish sauce first is probably the most important part. So I've made this a few times, so I have a bit of a rough idea of how much it can take. It takes quite a bit. But if you're not confident with it, start off with a couple of tablespoons, mix it through, taste it, make sure it doesn't taste too fishy, and then you can add to it. So I'm going to drop our lime straight in after the fish sauce. And with your lime, you want to make sure you don't do this while the chicken's still cooking, otherwise you end up with really bitter lime, or the lime goes really bitter. So So we've got our lime. Next we're going to pop our chili in. Again, like this starts to really come down to personal preference. So if you like it hot, more chili. If you don't like it hot, less chili. Now I'm a massive fan of this rice powder, so I like quite a bit of it because I think it's tasty. Okay, just going to mix that through, check the seasoning. When you check your seasoning, you're looking for a couple of things. Okay, first of all, you want to make sure you're able to taste everything. So sweet, salty, sour, and of course the chili, but you want to make sure that you've got a balance. So depending on what you like, whether you like sweet, whether you like salty, or whether you like sour most, you should have one kind of leader in the ingredient or in the balance. So it should either be like salty followed very, very closely by sweet and sour, or sour followed very, very closely by sweet and salty, or whatever your personal preference is. I feel like when people go too gentle on the seasoning, they miss that balance and it just ends up becoming bland. With this, you want it to be quite punchy, you want it to have loads of flavor, and you really want the seasoning to be on purpose. So chili's good, but it definitely needs more fish sauce and more lime. So a lot of the time people ask, how do I know which ingredient, which balance do I need more of? You can taste it. If you can't taste the sour, you need more lime. If you can't taste the salt, you need more fish sauce. Alrighty, so that's all seasoned. Just gonna pop that in a bowl, ready for my lunch. Which is good. So really clean, really light, really easy, and not much washing up. Just like one pot and one bowl, and you're good to go. Easy for entertainment, easy for by yourself, or easy for my lunch.